Okay, welcome everybody back to our office, Lookout Mountain Family Dentistry. I'm Dr. Howard. We're here in our dental lab in our office, and I've got another video that I wanted to kind of show you guys. My daughter Kendall, she's been watching some of these videos I've been making, and she's watching me edit them, and she loves YouTube, so she's wanted to be in one and help us make the mouth guard today. So we'll bring her in just a little bit and let her help pick some of the colors. But what I wanted to show you today is how we kind of make some of these tie-dyed or off-color, mixed-colored mouth guards here. We use recycled plastics when we make all of these, and so I wanted to give you some tips in using recycled plastic. It's always good to have some recycled plastics in your office, planks that are already made, because a lot of times I'll be in here on the weekend making these mouth guards, and if I'm run out of black, oh, what do I do? Well, I've got some recycled black, so let me just go ahead and use some of that recycled black instead of having to wait to order that. But there's a few tricks in using recycled plastics. So this here is our plastic that we already used once to make a mouth guard. So when I recycle that, I'll cut out the circle here, and you want to save these circles. These circles are very important in using as the outer layer. So what happens if you don't have this circle here as your outer layer and you just put in a bunch of plastic that you cut up? A lot of times what you get is a circle that's not all the way formed, and it has some edges here that have some holes, and when you try to use that, you'll lose your seal. When the canister comes down, there'll be a leak and the air leaks out there. So it's real good to use this circle cut out as your edges, to make sure when you get your recycled plastic back like this, there'll be no blemishes, no holes, and you get a real good seal. So that's one important tip, is to cut out the circle edge and use that once you start making your plastic. So I'll cut out the edge, and then the remaining part I'll cut out very, very thin pieces here. And then you've got to cut these out. I've cut out and I've saved a bunch of those, and you cut them out into just smaller pieces. So I'll usually, there's no real easy way to try to do this. I wish if somebody knows an easy way to cut these into smaller pieces, please let me know. But I just do it manually with some scissors. I use some surgical scissors, and I just go around little by little, just kind of cut all these pieces, let them drop into this beaker here, this plastic, cut into triangles or squares, all different type of shapes to get them to mix and blend really good. So I'll just kind of keep going and cut until you got enough, and you'll save those little plastics here. But just to kind of show you the size here, I've got a close-up here. I'll show you the size. So yeah, if you're going to make a mixed one, you want smaller pieces. If you're going to make one that's just all the same color, I'll just leave them in large pieces here and put them in. So right, let's bring Kendall in here and have her kind of pick her colors and show us which one of these she wants to make. So we'll be right back. 3, go. Say hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Kendall.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Dr. Howard, and we are at Lookout Mountain.
My daddy.
Yeah, we're at Lookout Mountain Family Dentistry, and we are going to make a really special sports mouth guard today. I'm going to show you how you can make any design that you want. So the design that we want, we've got some special colors here. So tell us what colors you have that you're going to put in there.
Green, pink, white, gold, and blue.
Okay, yeah. That's some really nice colors. So we've got to mix all these colors together. And we're going to use this funky tool right here.
It's a funky tool?
Yeah, what letter is that?
F, U, N, L,
K,
K,
Y.
Y. It
All
was
right.
hard to tell that.
Can you tell everybody how old you are?
4.
All right. So inside this funky tool, we've got several plates that we'll use to heat up and melt together this special plank that we'll use for the mouth guard. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is let's open this bag, and we're going to put a few pinches,
I want to open the...
put a few pinches of each color inside this bowl here.
Okay.
Okay? Maybe 2 pinches of every color, and put them inside here. All right, so get them inside the bowl.
I got 1, got 2 of them.
So we're going to do a preheat of this plate for 2 minutes.
Now let's do 2.
Do the letter 2 or number 2. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay?
Wait, I think
We'll
that
replace this ring and we'll put the heating plate inside. Alright. It's going to get really hot, so you don't want to touch it.
1,
Okay, it's heating up.
2. Now time for the
Good.
gold.
Yeah, we're going to mix all these colors together. Put some gold in there, yeah. Good.
I only did 1, now let me do 2.
Yeah.
Let me do some pink.
Yeah, get some pink in there. Maybe a little bit more green. These are some pretty colors. Wow, this is going to be the best one ever.
Doing some gold.
Probably need a little bit more of some gold. Yeah, a little bit more gold. A little bit more green.
White. I'm putting some white.
Alright, so to make this, I've got a cutout of the edge of a plank that we used already. And that'll help us get a real good seal if we use this.
Yeah, and my daddy also did another video. If you saw that video,
Yeah.
comment down below.
Oh, that's right. Alright, I think it's warmed up enough. So we're going to put it in here.
Is it hot?
Yeah, can you feel it? Put your hand right there and tell me if it's really hot.
I don't want to do it. It's hot.
Okay, don't do it then. It's really hot. So we're going to put in that layer. Put the chimney on.
Chimney.
Yeah, it's called a chimney because it focuses the heat right to the plate. Okay. And then we're going to mix these up real good. Can you give it a little mix? That's good.
Can I pour them?
And then pour it right in the top there, yeah. Pour it all the way in the top. Get it all out, dump it all out. Okay, good. Yeah, that's a lot of colors there. We actually got a little bit too much, I think. Alright. Okay, so we'll heat this up again. Heat it up again for another 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2.
2. 1, 2.
1
Yeah.
and 2. And guys, I used to have a dog named Toto.
Yep. And, oh, what do you got on your shirt there?
It's a like pom-pom thing.
Yeah, it's like the tail of a bunny rabbit?
Yeah.
Is that what that is? Okay. Alright.
I wonder how it's going to turn out when it's done.
I wonder how it's going to turn out too. I can't wait to see. How long are we heating it up for? How many minutes?
2.
2 minutes. Okay, good.
Guys, I'll be back real fast.
Alright. Bye, everybody. Be right back. We're back. Everybody say hi.
Hi.
Hi, we're back. So, we mixed our colors.
Yeah.
We melted them.
Yeah.
And we pressed them together.
Yeah.
So we're ready to release it and have a look, aren't we?
Yeah.
Do you want to do the honors and push the button right here?
What button?
This button right here.
On the side.
On the side right there. Push it down and hold it. Yeah, push that button all the way in and hold it in. Very good. Wow, isn't it? Whoa! Can you hear how loud that is?
Yeah, I started good.
All right. And now we pull the plate out and we
That
see
was really loud.
how it turns out. Whoa! Look how pretty that is. Huh? That was a good choice of colors. You want to hold it and look? Show the camera, show everybody at home how it turned out. Wow. Yeah, so now we can use that to make the mouth guard we want. Yeah? So that'll be the next step. So come back and join us for when we do that. All right?
Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.
So colored mouth guards with recycled plastic, because working with recycled plastic can be a little tricky because you've already heated it up and cooled it down, heated it up and cooled it down, heated it up, cooled it down. So it loses some of its properties and sometimes it's a little bit harder to form. So I'm going to show you some tricks that I use to help it form. I found that black, for some reason, when I use recycled black, it's probably the worst color in trying to recycle. You know, what problems do I have with black? Sometimes you'll see with black when you try to laminate that clear layer over top, it doesn't seem to adhere or stick very well to the black, and it'll after it dries off and you finish making it, I can see where it's starting to peel away for some reason. I don't know if it's the manufacturing process and doing black or what, but the other colors I haven't found that same problem with. But black seems to be a problem when I recycle a lot. But let's use this this purple, black, and white one here. And so what we'll do is, you know, we'll get our scanner turned on. So one very good important trick is when you're going to melt all of this plastic back up together to make a recycled plank. A lot of times what I'll do is you want to make sure you don't burn this. If you burn this, then you lose all of its elasticity properties and it's going to be very hard to form over your cast. So a lot of times I'll heat it up for 30, you know, once I've got it in there heating, I'll heat it up for about 30 seconds and I'll take the heat off for about 10 seconds. Put the heat back on for about 30 seconds, take the heat off for about 10 seconds, put the heat back on for about 30 seconds. That way, you know, it's not just the outer top part that's heating up, but it allows more time for the center and the bottom to kind of heat up more evenly. Because if you just leave the heat on for the whole 2 minutes before you form it, it can kind of cause that very top layer to start to burn and you get that smell. So take the heat off, put it on, take it off, heat it on to try to get a more even heating and melting of that plastic before you try to form it into the plank there. So that is a trick there that'll help you out too. So yeah, let's turn our Drupal scan on. So this is a recycled plastic plank that I've made. So let's pick a side that you think is good and you want in the front. And so we'll put that side up, put the ring over, and heat it up. How long we're going to heat it up for? You know, I usually like to heat it up probably for about 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. You know, I'll watch it. You know, you're not going to get even thickness in all of these planks that you recycle. So one plank may be more thick than another plank and another plank. So they're not very even in their consistency and thickness. So you've kind of got to eyeball it a lot of times. And so I'll watch it until it starts to kind of drop down. And so we'll heat that up. We'll start it for about 10 minutes, but I've got it heating up for 2 minutes and 45 seconds, but I'm not going to let it go that complete time. I'm going to watch it once it gets around 2 minutes, and we'll see how it's kind of forming and dropping down there. I'm going to put some gloves on, because I'm going to actually, before I press the canister down, I'm going to use my fingers and put some digital pressure onto that mold there to really help it get a first initial mold. So let's get some gloves on. I hate leaving my fingerprints in the plastic, so a lot of times the gloves will help you from leaving the fingerprints there. Now this is one of the times where, you know, that saying they say, if it's hot, get out of the kitchen, because, you know, when you're pushing down with your fingers, you can kind of feel that heat through the gloves there. So I may even run my fingers a little bit through some water first. Cool it down a little bit. And once it's ready, we'll kind of check it. Get it ready. So I'm going to actually watch how I do this, because the recycled plastic, it doesn't form as easily as the brand new plastic. So what I've learned to try to do to make sure it forms nicely is I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to take the ring off, let the plastic be placed right on top of the cast, and with my fingers kind of digitally put some pressure to make it form real nicely all around the teeth and the area there. So it's been about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, so that should be pretty good. So let's take the heat off. Let's take that ring off. I could probably go ahead and just lift the plastic out itself. Okay, and I'm going to put it right, it's a little hot, so we'll put it right on that cast, and then I'm going to take my fingers and push it down. Cool them off a little bit more under the water because it gets hot. But I'm going to push with my fingers, get it down onto the mold there, and then once I've got it down onto the base, I'm going to start pushing into the teeth a little bit, and especially right into the freedom area there. That seems to be the hardest area to try to form. So once I've kind of digitally pressed it with my fingers, I'm going to put the ring back on, and then we'll pressurize it. So that's the trick that I've found to do when I'm using recycled plastics. Is it may take a moment before you pressurize it to kind of digitally form it around your cast there. I think if you do that, you'll find that it forms very nicely around the cast. But it is, you know, a little bit different plastic just because it's lost a little bit of its, you know, elasticity and properties. But you can still make really good, nice fitting, professionally made custom fitting mouth guards using that. So we'll come back once that cools off. We want to make sure we give it plenty of time to cool off and we'll look and see how it turns out. So we'll be right. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. It's cooled down, so we released the pressure, and we're going to take it out and we'll see how it turned out there. So if we look at it, not too bad. Looks like it's formed everywhere we need. Mainly it's formed where I put the digital pressure there, and it hasn't formed too much more over that. But let's cut it out and we'll see how it fits on to the cast and see if we'll be able to use this. You know, let's say we cut it out and we try it on and we just don't like the way that it's formed. Can you reheat it up and try to form it a little bit better? That's an option, yes. But yeah, these mixed ones are really hard to do yourself. Yeah, but it seems to be fitting on there pretty good. So I think we can use that, you know. We'll trim it up. We'll put our logos or emblems or whatever we want to put on there. And we'll put another layer or two right on top of that. And it'll work out really good. I think they'll be really happy with it. But yeah, that's the problem, you know, these recycled plastics, heating, cooling, you can only do it so many times until it loses this elasticity, and it will not form very easily over the cast. And so that's why I like to use digital pressure there with these to make sure it forms right around everywhere where I need it. There's a company out of Australia that makes really good thermo-forming plastic planks in all different colors, you know. They're really good for different tie-dyed colors, mixed colors. I can't remember the name of it, but if you look it up out of Australia, if you want to get it shipped over to the United States, you can do that. And that'll add a little bit more, less work for you to do instead of trying to make these yourself. But hopefully you've learned something good from this video again. And look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.